Hello and welcome back to the channel this week. This week's episode is all about a camera that hasn't even been made yet, but has been reported by Fuji Rumors. And I gotta say, Fuji Rumors, great site to go to look up new stuff that might be coming along down the pike for Fuji. And my only caveat to that is it's a massive affiliate site. So if you click on any of the links, he's going to have a hold of you for a very long time. But, you know, hey, some people got to make a living. That's how he does it. So anyway, still got to thank him for all these notes here I've got. But today I'm going to be talking about a camera that I'm still on the fence about. I'm not even sure if I really like the idea or not. But it's the GFX 100RF. So this is basically a 100 megapixel point and shoot. Really? Fuji, for crying out loud. Where's my X Pro 4? That's what I want, the X Pro 4. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen that camera yet, but I digress. Let's talk about this GFX 100RF. So it's going to be in the same vein as an X Pro, but it's going to be with a 100 megapixel sensor, and it's going to have a fixed lens on it. So some things that I really don't like about this idea is then I'm going to tell you what the cons are right now. Number one is a fixed lens. I don't like that idea at all. The 106, whatever you want to call it, that's a great little camera, but it's got the hybrid viewfinder on it, which I really like with the frame lines. This new camera, we don't know if it's going to have that or not. I don't think it's going to have it. Honest to God, I don't think they're going to put that in there. It just costs too much to manufacture it. No IBIS. That's a big one for me. You're going to produce a 100 megapixel camera without IBIS. I know the 50R doesn't have IBIS in it, but once you start getting up to 100 megabytes, well, that's a problem. I think you're going to see some movement once you start blowing things up if you're shooting with too low a shutter speed. And the other thing is that Fuji Rumors he's reporting that we're going to see a 35 f4 lens. Now, that's a 28 f4. Well, why? I don't get it. Why would you put an f4 lens on a 100 megapixel point and shoot? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Maybe some of you it does make sense, but for me it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense at all. A 28 millimeter, okay, that can be fine for some people, but why isn't it a 45 millimeter f2.8 like the 106 is? Which is actually, excuse me, I digress a little bit. It's a 23 f2 or whatever it is, 17, whatever it is. You Fuji experts will know better than I do because I don't own the camera. But why wouldn't you put the 45 2.8 on there? Makes it a 35 2.8. It's still going to have the bokeh of a 3.5, f4, something like that. But an f4? Yeah, I don't know. It throws me in a different direction here. The last thing is the cost is going to be prohibitive. Prohibitive. It's going to be really way too much money. I'm thinking that it's going to be between $3,000 and $4,000. It's a 100 megapixel camera, so it's got to have some cost associated with it. So let's look at some pros here. I can only think of two. It's going to be about the size of an X Pro body, X Pro 3 body. Now that's pretty good. Yeah, it's a nice small form factor. That'd be great. And the 100 megapixel sensor in it. It's going to be also, that's great. But boy, there's so many things that just don't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. So Fuji, I'm not sure why you're doing this. Everybody else is going, oh, this is a great idea. I don't think it is at all. I want my X Pro 4. Where's my X Pro 4? I don't know. Maybe some people are going to make fun of me for talking about this, but honest to God, I just don't think that this is a great idea, Fuji. I don't know why you're doing it. A 100 megapixel point and shoot. Now, if they include, and I'm sure they're going to do this, they're going to put in the 1.4 and the 2.0 teleconverters in there like they do with the XT5 and the XT50, which I'm filming on right now. But you know, the way it was before, it cut down on half of the sensor size. When you went to 1.4, it went from 40 to 20. So this is going to go from 100 down to 50-ish, somewhere in that range. Well, that's not that big a deal. That's actually pretty good. But when you blow it up twice the size, does it then go down to like 20 megapixels? Kind of defeats the purpose, if you ask me. Now, who are they competing with? Are they competing with the Leica Q3? Well, the Leica Q3 is going to just make it look stupid, if you ask me, because the autofocus on that camera is great, and it gives you those frame lines for the, you know, for a 28, 35, 50, 70, and a 90. And, you know, that's all digital cropping, but I don't think Fuji's going to go that far, to be honest with you. They've never been innovative in this field ever when it comes to that. So I don't know, you know, I guess I'm not really on the fence about this. I don't like the idea at all. I think it's kind of dumb, if you ask me. But hey, you know, the influencer camera, the 106, well, guess what? Maybe this is the new influencer camera, a 100 megapixel point and shoot with a 28 millimeter lens. F4. So I'm not really sure why they're doing this, but thanks to Fuji Rumors for letting me know and letting everybody else know and actually continuing the conversation with this. So if you wouldn't mind, hey, let me know what you think about this idea. You might be all over it and think it's a great idea. I don't. So if you wouldn't mind, hey, leave me a comment, throw me a like, and subscribe to the channel. That would be great. And remember, it's not what you photograph, it's how you photograph it. And we'll catch you next week.